All right, what's up, dude? Okay, I'm going to try to run through this as quickly as I can. I won't break down each individual section, but I just want to show you how to navigate this because there's a lot of information here. Um, so first, we've got first page phase overview, kind of just explaining the most important things we're looking to improve for you right now. In this phase, we're trying to build a base internal environment so you can handle the amount of training that we're going to enter into. We need to remove your kind of the sensory noise you experience during training and the overanalyzation that happens, and we need to improve or change the emotional relationship you have with your injury history. We need to improve and increase your sleep. And then we need to reduce a little bit of body fat and reduce local and systemic inflammation with some dietary changes and stress reduction. Okay? If we can do all these things, you're going to be out of this kind of recurring pain cycle that you get into, and we're going to be able to put together, stack months and months and months of really high quality training. You have all the genetics to really do this. We just need to remove some of these rate limiters for you. So, phase overview. This is something that you can reference. I have all of these broken down into separate tabs as well, but I want this all in one place just for you to be able to see it as the whole phase. Okay, we have your sleep optimization protocol, your supplement stack for sleep. We have stress reduction and tolerance framework. So basically, how we're going to reduce your total stress, and in that, how we're going to reinforce parasympatheticism. And then we have your nutrition, which is mostly relating to improving body composition, reducing local and systemic inflammation, especially in the gut, and that's mapped out here as well. I have your macros written in. I don't have your AM fence lines. I need to write that in as well. That's my mistake. But those are basically going to be like the daily things as we progress each week. I'll change this each week, and you'll see kind of what your priorities are. Once we get things that are really locked in, like you wake up every morning, you go outside, you're barefoot, you see sunlight, you get that light exposure, we can remove that from the AM fence lines and add new things in. And you'll see how we slowly integrate in each piece or each phase, so it doesn't feel too overwhelming all at once. We have your nutritional targets. So I have you on a macro plan, right? Which is you get to eat what you want to eat as long as it fits in the macros. But I wrote in kind of a cheat sheet for you here where this is the stuff that needs to be hit if you want to be operating like at peak level of performance, right? So, and for peak health, right? This is the stuff that's going to cover all the micronutrient bases that are going to allow you to, or allow the rest of this plan to work well. But I don't want to bottleneck you into or pigeonhole you into having to eat the foods that I've written in. So as long as you're just making sure to hit these within the amounts or frequencies that we need per week, like with fatty fishes, I just need you to eat something that has a high amount of omega-3s 3 times a week. That's it. For beef, same thing, 3 times a week. So this is your cheat sheet for that, okay? As far as check-ins, I don't have a way of doing this that's easy on a phone. I have plenty of clients that fill these out on their phone, but if you do it on your computer, it makes it way easier. It is an extra step, but dude, I'm sorry. Sorry, dude. I don't have the platform or the formatting to do that, and it's really difficult to get enough information in a format that is easy on your phone. So this is how we're gonna have to do it. It's one little step that you have to do every day, but if you can do that, things are gonna really we're gonna get locked in because you'll be able to see what you're doing and what you're not, and the quality of these things, and it will allow me to see that as well. So as you can see, we've got weight, sleep hours, sleep quality, steps, cardio, and training, and then everything else relating, and any notes that you want to add for each day. This is incredibly helpful for me, so please, please, please fill it out. Next to that, we have your weekly progress report. This is like your check-ins, okay? And this is where I'm going to be able to see how you're doing when I go to write your programming and make adjustments on your meal plan. This is the information that is imperative for me to be able to make those adjustments worth anything, right? Otherwise, it's just me going, well, I'm assuming you're doing everything copy paste, which is the lowest level of how we can operate in this coach-client relationship. So I'm really looking to you to fill this stuff out so that you can help me help you. Okay. Then, after this is kind of the main framework here of the whole plan. Then I have a couple tabs where I've broken down, like I showed you, the phase overview, and I've broken them down into each their own tabs, and I want you to print these out, okay? So I want you to print out your sleep optimization protocol. I want you to print out your stress reduction tool and tolerance framework. I want you to print out your nutrition overview, okay? Then I have a daily checklist for you to print out as well. So you'll have these posted up so you can reference them and you don't have to keep looking at your phone and going through Google Sheets, okay? So you have these as references for like, if you have a question, like boom, it's right there. Like what does box breathing look like? 3 minutes, 4-4-4-4 tempo, okay? Nutrition, same thing. Then I have a daily checklist so that we can make sure as you start to implement this stuff, we're going to be able to track how well you're doing at that, because it's a lot of stuff. And anytime with anyone, I mean, even myself in this, anytime we start a phase like this where there's like a ton of upfront work that's being added in, having checklists like this is the absolute easiest way to make sure that week over week we're like seeing where we're missing and we can make sure that we make those adjustments when we need to, okay? And then finally, this is mostly for me, but this is kind of like how we're going to onboard each of these things, and you can look at how we're going to step our way into each additional piece. So like, we're probably not going to do really aggressive nutritional timing, nutrient timing, adding into like fermented foods or journaling, things like that, until week 4, because I want each piece of the puzzle to be layered in before we add a new thing. Otherwise, again, like I've said, it can get really overwhelming. So yeah, anyways, this is the plan as a whole. I know it's a lot, so just like, please read through it, look through it a couple times, print out the things I asked you to, kind of start planning out how that's going to fit into your week and your life. A secondary thing I'm just thinking of now too is like, anything you need swaps for or anything that is cost prohibitive, just let me know and we can always come up with workarounds, right? If you can't afford a certain supplement, that's totally fine. It's not going to like break the whole plan. We just need to make sure we're getting most of the bases covered and I need to know what's not being hit. That's the most important piece. So take a sec, look through this, write down all your questions, and then we'll schedule a call and we can go back over everything and just get started, dude. I'm really, really excited to implement this because I think a guy like yourself needs this level of structure to really kind of remove some of these, like, what I would consider lasting residual like impacts on your ability to make progress, right? If you can't manage your stress, you can't make progress, right? I mean, you can, but it's very, very, very difficult. It takes a very long time. And if you can't manage stress, you end up going back through this pain cycle. You end up not being able to sleep. And then this has these effects and impacts on everything else. And we create this like negative feedback loop. So my goal here is to remove the negative feedback loop, get you into really, really healthy habits. Because then, dude, like, you have all the genetic gifts. You have the work ethic and the gifts and the ability to pack on tissue. If we can just fix this stuff, you are a pro in a few years. Easily. Okay? All right, man. Let me know how this looks to you, and hope to hear back soon. Later.